Sarah was pregnant and labor pains had started. On the way to the hospital, their car broke down. Her husband Tom was standing on the roadside in panic. Then a motorcyclist stopped beside them, and when he took off his helmet, what they saw changed their lives forever. December 17th, 2019, Tuesday night. In Los Angeles, the weather was cold and humid, the sky covered with thick clouds. Meteorological services had issued a snow warning, quite rare for LA at this season. The clock showed 11:30 p.m. The city's traffic had decreased, streets had quieted. Neon lights illuminated empty avenues, wind rustled through tree branches. But for some people, this night would be one of the most critical moments of their lives. In the Woodland Hills neighborhood, in a modest two-story house, Sarah Martinez, a 28-year-old elementary school teacher, suddenly felt a sharp pain in her groin while watching television that evening. She was 8 months pregnant and her due date was still a month away. Doctor checkups had shown everything was normal. The baby was healthy, Sarah had no complications. At first, she thought it was normal pregnancy pain, but the pains gradually intensified and became regular. Sarah had married Tom 3 years ago. Both were very young, and this was their first baby. Throughout the pregnancy, they had read every book, attended birthing classes. But they realized that night there was a big difference between theoretical knowledge and real life. "Tom," she called to her husband with obvious worry in her voice, "I think we need to go to the hospital. These pains are different, much more intense." Tom Rodriguez, a 30-year-old electrician, was preparing meals for the next week in the kitchen at that moment. Tuesday nights, he always cooked for his family. This was one of the ways he showed his love to Sarah. When he heard the panic in his wife's voice, he dropped everything, vegetables scattered on the counter, and ran to her side. "What's wrong, Sarah? Is the baby coming? But the doctor said there was still a month to go." "I don't know, Tom, but the pains are terrible. And I think my water broke. My clothes got wet." Tom's face went pale. His heart was beating fast. This was their first baby, and both were very young and inexperienced. Everything they learned in birthing classes flew out of his mind at that moment. He immediately knelt beside Sarah, holding her trembling hand. Okay, stay calm. We're going to the hospital right away. I'll call Dr. Martinez. Everything will be fine, honey." Tom's mind was racing. Was the hospital bag ready? Was Sarah's insurance working? Where was the doctor's phone number? Tom quickly helped Sarah put on her coat, grabbed his jacket. He took the hospital bag, put the house keys in his jacket. He was trying to check everything but couldn't think straight from stress. He opened the garage door to get the car out, carefully helped Sarah into the car. Sarah was worse now. The pains were coming every 3-4 minutes and lasting almost a minute each time. "Tom, the pains are coming very close together," Sarah's voice trembled. "They taught us in birthing class, if pains are this close, it means the baby is coming very soon." "Don't worry, honey. Cedars-Sinai Hospital is only 20 minutes away. We'll call Dr. Martinez on the way. We'll make it in time." Tom tried to start the car. They had a 2015 Honda Civic. It had about 180,000 kilometers, but was still a reliable vehicle. At least they had never had problems before. The key didn't turn the first time. The engine didn't even start. It didn't work the second time either. The third attempt, the engine seemed to start, making rattling sounds, but then stopped again. Fourth try? Fifth? Sixth? No! Tom hit the steering wheel. "This can't be happening! Not right now!" During Sarah's next pain attack, she gripped Tom's arm tightly. "Tom, it hurts so much. The baby is really coming." The car was completely dead. Tom tried every method. He turned the key, pressed the gas, released and engaged the handbrake, turned the steering wheel. Nothing worked. The engine wasn't even making a sound. "Sarah, wait a minute. Let me open the hood and check. Maybe there's a simple problem." Tom got out of the car and opened the hood, but in the darkness of the night and in his panic, he couldn't see anything. Besides, he didn't know much about engines. He was an electrician, but automotive electronics was a completely different field. "Tom, what's happening?" Sarah was breathless from the pain. "The car won't start, honey, but I'll call an ambulance now." When Tom took out his cell phone, he was shocked. The battery was at 2%, and just then, the phone died. He had forgotten to charge it that morning when going to work. All day was very busy. He never checked his phone. "Sarah, the phone is dead. Where's your phone?" "In my bag, in the bedroom, but I forgot to charge it today too. I think it's dead too." At that moment, the young couple found themselves in the middle of Los Angeles at midnight, with snow starting to fall, with a broken car and a pregnant woman in labor. Tom looked around. Their house was in a complex, but the surrounding houses were dark. Since it was close to midnight, most people were asleep. The nearest neighbor, the Miller family, was 200 meters away, but their house was completely dark too. "Tom," there was real fear in Sarah's voice, "the pains are coming more frequently. I think the baby is really coming. I can't give birth here." Tom was in panic mode. He didn't know how to deal with such a situation. Having the baby at home was very risky. He couldn't risk either Sarah's or the baby's health, but he didn't know what to do either. Tom ran from the garage to the street, looking to see if any vehicle was passing. The street was completely empty. Snow was starting to fall and cold wind was blowing. Snow was so rare in LA that no one wanted to be outside. He ran to the neighbor's house door and started ringing the bell. Once, twice, 3 times, no sound came. Either they weren't home or they were sleeping very deeply. He went to another neighbor's house. Same situation. No one was answering. When Tom returned to Sarah in the garage, he saw his wife's condition had worsened. The pains were now coming every 2 minutes and were very intense. "Tom, I'm so scared. What if something happens to the baby? What if something happens to me?" "No, Sarah, don't talk like that. Everything will be fine. I'll find a way. I'll definitely find a way." But Tom was eating himself up inside. How would he find a way? No phone, broken car, no one around, snow falling. Tom held Sarah's hand. "Honey, worst case scenario, we'll deliver it home. We have internet. I can look up how it's done on YouTube." "Tom, this is very dangerous. What if there's bleeding? What if the baby can't breathe?" Both knew how serious this situation was. Just then, a motorcycle sound came from far away. At first, it sounded very distant, but the sound was getting closer. Tom listened carefully. "Sarah, I hear a motorcycle. Maybe they can help." Tom ran frantically to the middle of the street, under the snowfall, waving his hands, trying to stop the motorcycle. "Stop! Please, stop! We need help! Please!" It was a black Kawasaki Ninja 650 motorcycle. The person on it was wearing a black helmet, black leather jacket, leather pants. He looked like a professional motorcyclist. The motorcycle stopped right in front of Tom, ending with the sound of the engine cutting out. "What happened, brother?" asked the motorcyclist, speaking a bit loudly to be heard. "My wife is pregnant. Labor pains have started. We need to get her to the hospital, but our car broke down. Our phones are dead too. Please help." The motorcyclist took off his helmet. Long black hair fell to his shoulders. Tom would never forget that moment. The man standing in front of him was Keanu Reeves. But Tom didn't realize this at first due to shock and the darkness. He only saw that a stranger was ready to help them. "Where is your wife?" asked Keanu in a calm but urgent voice. "In the car. In the garage, please come." Keanu parked his motorcycle to the side and ran to the garage, following Tom. He saw Sarah in the front seat of the car, suffering from pain. The woman was sweating and obviously in pain. "Hello, ma'am. I came to help. My name is Keanu. I need to ask you a few questions. How close is the birth?" When Sarah's pain attack passed, she looked at Keanu. His face looked familiar, but she couldn't focus due to the pain. She could only understand that someone had come to help. "The pains are coming very close together. I think the baby is coming. I'm so scared." Keanu took Sarah's pulse. It was fast, but regular. He checked her breathing. "Is this your first baby?" "Yes." "How long ago did the pain start?"
Tom interjected. About an hour ago, but it got very intense in the last 20 minutes. Did your water break? Yes, I think so. Keanu quickly assessed the situation. An inexperienced mother, first birth, frequent pains, water broken. This baby was coming very soon.
Tom, where's the nearest hospital? Cedars-Sinai, about 20 minutes away. In this situation, 20 minutes is too much. Where's your nearest neighbor? In that house, but I knocked on the door, they're not answering. They're probably sleeping. No problem. Go again, and this time knock harder. You can even call the police if necessary. We need to use their phone to call an ambulance. I'll take care of Sarah. But go now. Every second is precious. This woman is going to give birth very soon. Tom ran to the neighbor's house. This time he banged on the door, rang the bell, shouted, "Help! Emergency!" Meanwhile, Keanu knelt beside Sarah. He tried to keep his voice very calm because he knew panic was contagious. "Sarah, look at me. Focus on my eyes. Try to control your breathing. Now, with me, breathe in slowly and release." Keanu's voice was very calm. This calmness started to relax Sarah. "Have you given birth before?" asked Keanu. "No, this is our first. We don't know anything. I'm so scared." "There's no need to be afraid. Birth is a natural process. The body is designed for this. Now, how frequently are these pains coming?" "I think every 2 minutes, maybe more often." Keanu knew this was very critical. The baby was going to come very soon. Tom returned running from the neighbor's house. Behind him was a middle-aged woman. "Mr. Williams woke up. We called the ambulance. They'll be here in 15 minutes. 15 minutes might be too much," said Keanu. "Sarah's condition is very serious. The baby is coming very soon." The neighbor woman, Mrs. Williams, was shocked when she saw the situation. "Oh my God, what can we do?" Keanu stood up and made eye contact with Tom and Mrs. Williams. "I have a suggestion. I can take Sarah to the hospital with my motorcycle. It takes 20 minutes to get to Cedars-Sinai by car due to traffic, but I can be there in 5 to 7 minutes with a motorcycle." Tom was surprised. "By motorcycle? But she's pregnant. Is it safe? It's snowing too." "Under normal circumstances, I would definitely not recommend it. But right now, this is the fastest option. The baby is coming very soon and we can't wait 15 minutes. The snow isn't very thick yet, and I'm a very experienced driver." After Sarah's next pain attack, she whispered, "Please, I need to get to the hospital. The baby is coming." "I can't give birth here," Mrs. Williams interjected. "I'm a delivery nurse. I'm retired, but I have experience. Sarah is really going to give birth very soon. We have to take this risk." This information reassured Tom. At least a healthcare worker was confirming the situation. Keanu had made his decision. He brought his motorcycle in front of the garage. "Tom, we're going to very carefully put your wife on the motorcycle. I'll be in front, she'll be behind me. You wait for the ambulance and then come to the hospital. Mrs. Williams can come with you too." "No, I can't send my wife with a stranger." "Tom?" Keanu's voice was serious but understanding. "I understand your concern. I would think the same thing if I were in your place. But right now, your wife's and baby's life is in danger. We don't have time to argue about this. I promise you, I will safely get Sarah to the hospital." Sarah interjected, "Tom, please, the pains are becoming unbearable. We have to trust this man." Tom had no other choice. He had to trust Keanu. Keanu took out a spare helmet from his motorcycle. "Sarah, put on this helmet. It's very important for safety." Keanu and Mrs. Williams very carefully helped Sarah to her feet. They got her on the motorcycle. Keanu explained to Sarah how she should sit, where she should hold on. "Sarah, hold on to me tightly. Lock your arms around my waist. I'll go very fast, but I'll drive safely, okay? Don't be afraid at all. I'm a very experienced driver." Okay." Sarah was in fear and pain, but she clung to the confidence in Keanu's voice. Keanu started the engine. Tom ran after them.
Wait! My wife's name is Sarah Rodriguez. Date of birth March 15th, 1991. No allergies. She's followed by Dr. Martinez at Cedars-Sinai. Dr. Maria Martinez. Got it, shouted Keanu. You get on the road immediately too. Come with Mrs. Williams' car. And so, at midnight, an extraordinary scene took place on the streets of Los Angeles. Keanu Reeves was carrying a pregnant woman in labor to the hospital on his motorcycle. Keanu knew the traffic and Los Angeles roads very well. He chose the fastest route, from Ventura Boulevard to Hollywood Freeway, then to Beverly Hills. This route had the least traffic during nighttime hours. Sarah held onto him tightly, her eyes closed. With each pain attack, she moaned, and held Keanu tighter. Hold on, Sarah. The hospital is very close, shouted Keanu over the wind. The snowfall continued, but it hadn't thickened enough to make the roads dangerous yet. Keanu was driving very carefully but fast at the same time. They had to stop at a red light on the way. Sarah experienced a very severe pain attack at that moment. Keanu, I think the baby is coming. It's coming now. No, Sarah, not yet. Breathe, breathe. 2 more minutes. The hospital is 2 minutes away.
5 minutes later, they arrived at Cedars-Sinai Hospital's emergency room entrance. Keanu parked the motorcycle at the hospital entrance, jumped off, and immediately helped Sarah get down. "Help! Woman in labor! Emergency!" he shouted to the security guards at the door. Nurses and doctors immediately ran over. They put Sarah on a stretcher. The woman was now in constant pain. "When did the contractions start?" asked Dr. Jennifer Wong, the attending physician. "About an hour and a half ago. The pains are coming very frequently. I think her water broke," said Keanu. "Are you related to this woman?" "No, just helping. Her husband is on the way. He'll be here very soon. Her name is Sarah Rodriguez. She's followed by Dr. Maria Martinez." "Understood. We'll call Dr. Martinez." The doctors immediately took Sarah to the delivery room. Keanu went inside and sat in the waiting room. He washed his hands, took a deep breath. The adrenaline was still high. 15 minutes later, Tom and Mrs. Williams arrived at the hospital. Tom ran into the emergency room, sweating and breathless. "My wife, Sarah Rodriguez, the woman brought by motorcycle, where is she?" The nurse said, "Oh, are you the husband? She's in the delivery room. Doctors are taking care of her. Everything is under control." Tom approached Keanu breathlessly. "How is it? How's Sarah? How's the baby?" "We made it in time. Doctors are taking care of her now. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. Sarah is a very strong woman." Tom gripped Keanu's hand tightly. "Who are you? You saved our lives. Why did you take such a big risk for us?" At that moment, Tom really realized who was standing in front of him. Under the hospital lights, he could see Keanu's face clearly. You're Keanu Reeves!"
Keanu smiled. "Yes, but that's not important. What's important is that Sarah and the baby are healthy." "Not important? You're one of Hollywood's most famous actors, and you risked your life for strangers." "Tom, any human being in the same situation would do the same thing. This is normal human solidarity. When a family is in danger, no one should step back." Mrs. Williams was also surprised. "I recognize you now too. Keanu Reeves from the Matrix movies. Thank you so much." Just then, a baby's cry came from the delivery room. It was a strong, healthy cry. The 3 people looked at each other. Tom's eyes began to well up. Dr. Martinez, who was Sarah's doctor, came out to the waiting room with a big smile on her face. "Mr. Rodriguez?" Tom jumped to his feet. "Yes, I'm Tom." "Congratulations! You have a very beautiful and healthy baby girl. 3.2 kilos, 50 centimeters, both mother and baby are in very good condition." Tom fell to his knees and started crying. Keanu also knelt beside him and patted his shoulder. "See, everything went well. You're a father now." "Thank you, Keanu. Really, thank you. I don't know what would have happened if you weren't there." An hour later, when they entered Sarah's room, the young mother was holding her baby. The little girl was very beautiful and healthy. Tiny fingers, small nose, Closed eyes, she was a perfect baby. "Keanu," Sarah's eyes filled with tears, "you saved us. You're a real hero." "No, Sarah, you were very strong. You were able to endure that difficult journey. I just provided some transportation." Tom took the baby in his arms. He had become a father for the first time and was experiencing indescribable happiness at that moment. "Keanu, how can we thank you? How can we repay this kindness?" "You don't need to do anything. This little angel growing up healthy, you being a happy family, is the greatest reward for me." Sarah looked at Keanu thoughtfully. "Keanu, do you know what I want to name my baby?" "This is completely your decision, Sarah." "No, I have a definite name in my mind. Let's call her Hope, because tonight you became our hope." Hope. Keanu's eyes filled with tears. Hope is a very beautiful name. This little girl is really very lucky.
After the doctor checked Sarah's condition, he said, "Everything is perfect. You can be discharged tomorrow afternoon." As Keanu was preparing to leave the hospital, Tom stopped him. "Keanu, wait, I want to tell you something." "Tell me, Tom." "I'll never forget what happened tonight. You were just a stranger, but you helped us like family. When Hope grows up, I'll tell her this story. I'll tell her that there are real heroes in the world, and one of them helped bring her into the world." "Tom, good people help each other. This is very normal." "No, it's not normal. Most people don't want to deal with other people's problems, especially they wouldn't take such a big risk, but you're different." Keanu took out his business card from his pocket. "This is my assistance number. When Hope grows up, if you need any help, call me. Education, health, whatever is needed, I'm always here." Sarah interjected, "Keanu, you didn't just save our lives. You showed us that humanity still exists." Mrs. Williams also added, "What I witnessed tonight was incredible. I'll tell this story to everyone." A year passed. Hope was growing as a healthy and happy baby. Tom and Sarah often talked about that night, telling Hope her story. They heard from Keanu occasionally. He sent flowers on birthdays, gift packages at Christmas, but they were never flashy things, always meaningful gifts. One day, Tom's phone rang. "Hello, Tom. This is Keanu. How are you?" "Keanu, we're great. Hope has grown so much, she's crawling now." "That's wonderful. Actually, I had a question for you. Next week, there's a charity event in Los Angeles, Hospital Aid Fund for Children. If you'd like, could we share Hope's story? Of course, keeping the names confidential." "Of course. If it can help other families, we'd be very happy." Thanks to this event, thousands of dollars were raised and families in need received help. When Hope was 15 months old, she started saying her first words. "Mom? Dad?" And surprisingly, "Moto." Sarah laughed. "I think she hasn't forgotten the motorcycle sound from that night." Tom had bought Hope a small toy motorcycle. The little girl played with it for hours. One evening, while Hope was playing with her toy motorcycle, she shouted, "Keanu, uncle!" Sarah and Tom were surprised. Hope was only 18 months old and had only seen Keanu once. "I think she recognizes him from photos," said Sarah. They had photos taken with Keanu at home. When Hope's second birthday came, there was an unexpected visitor at the door. When Tom opened the door, he saw Keanu with a big gift package in his hands. "Keanu, you came! Sarah, look who's here!" Sarah ran from the kitchen. Hope was in her arms. As soon as Hope saw Keanu, she shouted, "Moto, uncle!" and reached out to him. Keanu took the little girl in his arms. "Hello, beautiful girl. How much you've grown." When they opened the gift package, a small but real motorcycle helmet came out. It fit Hope's body perfectly, pink-colored.
"Of course she won't use it now," said Keanu, laughing, "but when she grows up, if she wants to ride a motorcycle, for her to be safe." Sarah's eyes filled up. "You think of everything." That day at Hope's birthday party, she was constantly by Keanu's side. She called him Moto Uncle and hugged him. When Hope turned 3, she started asking questions. "Mom, how was I born?" Sarah explained it simply. "You were a bit in a hurry. When we were going to the hospital, our car broke down. Then Keanu Uncle took us to the hospital with his motorcycle." "Is Keanu Uncle a superhero?" "Yes, honey, he's a real superhero." Hope loved this story. She asked Tom to tell it over and over again. One day, Hope asked Sarah, "Mom, when I grow up, will I be like Keanu Uncle?" "If you want, you will, honey. You'll be a good-hearted person who helps others." Hope's 4th birthday was special. This time, Keanu brought a different gift. "Tom, Sarah, I have a suggestion for you. Hope has grown a bit. If you want, we can take a short motorcycle tour safely. Of course, very slow and safe." Hope excitedly shouted, "Yes, yes, yes!" Very carefully, with Hope sitting in front, they took a very slow tour in the garden. Hope couldn't stop laughing. When she went to bed that night, Hope said, "Mom, this was my best birthday!" When Hope turned 5, she started preschool. On the first day, the teacher asked the children to introduce themselves. "My name is Hope. When I was born, my uncle Keanu Reeves took me to the hospital on a motorcycle." The teacher thought it was a joke at first, but when Tom and Sarah told the real story, she was very surprised. Hope became very popular at school. Her friends constantly wanted to hear the Uncle Keanu story. In the summer of 2025, while Keanu was sitting at home, the phone rang. "Hello, this is Tom. You took my wife to the hospital on a motorcycle 5 years ago?" Keanu immediately remembered. "Tom, how are you? How are Sarah and Hope?" "We're all great. Actually, the reason I'm calling you is this. Hope has turned 6 and constantly wants to see her moto uncle. This weekend is Hope's birthday. Will you come?" "Of course. Whenever you're available, let's meet." "Actually, Keanu, Hope prepared something special for you. She wants it to be a surprise."
On Saturday, Keanu went to the Rodriguez family's house. The house had changed a lot. Tom's electrical business was going very well. They had bought a new house. There was a small party in the garden. As soon as Hope saw him, she ran over. "Moto Uncle, you really came!" Keanu took the little girl in his arms. "Of course I came, beautiful girl. You've grown so much too. I have a surprise for you. Wait." Hope ran inside and brought a small drawing. It was a drawing she had made. A motorcycle, 2 people on it, and a hospital. "This is that night. You're saving me." Keanu took the drawing in his hands, his eyes filled with tears. "This is the most beautiful gift, Hope. Thank you. And when I grow up, I'm going to be like you. I'm going to save people." Throughout the party, Hope was constantly by Keanu's side. She wanted him to show her his motorcycle, wanted him to tell that night's story again. "Moto Uncle, when I grow up, will you teach me to ride a real motorcycle?" Keanu smiled. "Of course, but first, you need to grow up. And you need to learn to be very careful." When Sarah and Tom chatted with Keanu, they said, "You changed our lives that night. You didn't just save Hope, you showed us how people can help each other." "Actually," said Tom, "I changed too after that night. I started helping people stranded on the road. Last month, I repaired a family's car for free. They were very surprised too. I said, once upon a time, someone helped me too." "That's wonderful, Tom. Kindness is contagious." Sarah interjected, "And Hope became very helpful too. She constantly helps her friends at school. Her teacher says she's never seen a child like Hope. She always carries spare pencils and erasers in her bag to share with her friends." Keanu looked at Hope. The little girl was playing with her new toy motorcycle in a corner, but at the same time helping a friend she saw as a little sister. "Hope," called Keanu. "Yes, Moto Uncle?" "When you grow up, will you help other people?" "Of course, just like you did for us. I'm going to be a motorcyclist hero too." Tom smiled. "Maybe she'll become a doctor, heal people, or become a teacher, teach children beautiful things," added Sarah. "Whatever I become," said Hope with determination, "I'm going to help people."
That evening, as the party was ending, Hope ran to Keanu. "Moto Uncle, can I tell you a secret?" "Of course. I see you in my dreams at night. You're always saving people with your motorcycle. You're a real superhero." Keanu's heart filled up. "You'll be a superhero too when you grow up, Hope." "Really?" "Yes, because you have superpowers, your loving heart, that you love to help, and that you're very brave." When Hope went to bed that night, she told her parents, "This was my best birthday." As Keanu drove home, he thought about that cold December night 6 years ago, how the effect of a simple help had lasted for years. Hope was now 6 years old, and the story of his help that night was shaping the little girl's character. That night, as Keanu sat at home, a message came to his phone. From Hope, written with her mother's help. "Moto Uncle, thank you so much. You are my hero. When I grow up, I'm going to be like you. I love you very much. Hope, heart." Along with this message was a new drawing Hope had made. 2 motorcycles, one big, one small, going side by side. It said underneath, "Me and Moto Uncle, saving people." Tom and Sarah had changed too. They were reflecting the kindness they received that night to others. Tom's electrical business was going very well, and he was now providing free help to people with good financial situations too. Sarah had returned to teaching and was very successful in her career, constantly telling her students, "Help each other." And this chain reaction was touching many more people. Hope's friends at school, the families Tom helped, Sarah's students, they were all experiencing the miracle of that night in different ways. The Rodriguez family is living a happy life today. Tom's electrical company has grown. He now has 5 employees and treats them all very well. Sarah continues teaching and is working to become a school principal. And Hope grows a little more each day, carrying the miracle of that night within her. Sometimes in life's most critical moments, help comes from places we don't expect. That night, Keanu wasn't just a motorcyclist. He was hope itself. And that hope now continues to live in a 6-year-old girl named Hope, because real heroes sometimes appear on motorcycles at midnight and change lives without expecting anything in return. And that change spreads across generations. Hope Rodriguez is 6 years old today and knows that every day she's alive is a miracle, because on that cold December night, she came into the world thanks to a stranger's kindness.